Satya Dharma Reflection on the 8th of February 2022. Continue to go beyond awakening and brightening, disregard even from the disregard itself. Don't be limited with just awakening or brightening or lighten up. Disregard even from the disregard itself as the foundation, so that it will be beyond. Awakening will be beyond itself, the brightening will be beyond itself, automatically. To be stuck with just awakening and brightening, it will not get through. It's impossible to penetrate through to help samsara. In order to penetrate through help samsara, it has to be without traces. Beyond. Beyond the disregard itself, disregard even from the disregard itself actually. Disregard is not relevant to itself. Beyond attachment or detachment. No attach even to the non-attachment itself as the foundation. Then it will be beyond awakening and brightening. This is a very good penetrating through. It will be without traces, purifying form and formlessness, internal and external form and formlessness, body and mind. Let there be simultaneous purification of no traces. Let's not be limited with just awakening or brightening. Otherwise, it will become realm of existence. It still becomes samsara. Still stuck within the lane, within the opinions. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Let there be the deliberate cut through as the foundation. Automatically, the senses and sense objects will be beyond themselves. Automatically, the awakening and the brightening will be beyond itself. No matter how wide the opening is, automatically it will be beyond itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself well. Then it will be beyond expansiveness or narrowness. This is all about the non-attachment as it is. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Don't be busy with the karmic cycle of the mind. Let there be a self-purification within the mind. Let's not be embedded with the mind without purifying it. Let there be self-purification within the mind. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Automatically, the senses and sense objects will be beyond themselves. The awakening and the brightening will be beyond itself, automatically. That is the purification of no traces. Then it will dissolve the Vedana, the hindrances to help samsara. Don't be busy being realms of the Vedana, of hindrances on and on. Don't be busy being realms of the mind or realms of Dharma in whatever ways on and on. That which has nothing to do with realms of existence, which is not realms of existence. Disregard even from the disregard itself. It indicates that it's not about grasping no grasping even to the non-grasping itself. This is very well to purify through the extinction and emptiness. No matter how the karma and its cycle is, no matter how the reincarnation of each lifetime is, no matter how samsara is circling, all of these will be given a cut through. Samsara is given a cut through. Samsara is shortened, and shortened. Disregard even from the disregard itself. The disregard doesn't grasp itself. The disregard has nothing to do with itself. This will make all samsara shorten and shorten and shorten. This is helping one another to cut off the cycle of birth and rebirth. Don't be limited with just how the mind or the heart is. Otherwise, it will be stuck with just realm of existence. It will just circling. It will just being blocked. To be limited, it will be limited with just the anicca and the dukkha, that which is not relevant to anicca or not, suffering or not, that which has nothing to do with anatta or not. The uninvolved is not involved even to itself, well with it, so that it's possible to help give ending to samsara. Disregard even from the disregard itself, even the awakening that is going on, it will be beyond itself. Even the brightening that is going on, it will be beyond itself as well. No matter how the senses and sensed objects are at that time, at any time, it will be beyond itself instantly. Well, to conclude, through the deliberate cut through for samsara. Well, to cut through deliberately to help the cycle of the becoming. Such a deliberate cut through is not about grasping. To be stuck with just awakening is not going to get through. It still remains as realm of existence. To be stuck with just awakening within awakening is impossible to get through. It's impossible to bless beings. When coming across with a tiny bit of Vedana and hindrances of samsara, it already makes oneself rebound and at a loss. Beyond awakening, beyond brightening. Disregard even from the disregard itself, powerfully into samsara. Immediately, there's a release from the ongoing preoccupation, the circling, or the ongoing sunken state. Immediately, it will be shining out and blossom out. Well, to launch the essence of the deliberate cut through. If it is not beyond, it will fall down low already. always falling low, being obsessed with involvements, diving deep down on and on. Disregard even from the disregard itself, no grasping even from the non-grasping itself, so that it will release out and out from the release. It is both releasing out and out from the release. Not only releasing out, but also out from the release as well. To be stuck with just awakening within awakening is not going to get through. It still remains as realms of existence. Disregard even from the disregard itself, uninvolved even from the uninvolved itself. Naturally, the awakening and the brightening will be beyond itself. The senses and the sense objects will be naturally beyond themselves. The elements will be beyond themselves. The Dharma will be beyond itself. The body and mind will be beyond itself. Through the essence of uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, disregard even from the disregard itself. Constantly let the lion's roar of the deliberate cut through for samsara. There's no need to separate the essence of the cutting through or the enlightenment from samsara. Continue to help each other through the essence of the enlightenment and the deliberate cut through. This is not about being deliberate cut through from something. It is actually to help cut through deliberately, as helping. This is not about cutting off from anything. It is actually to help cut through. Do you know it is the great compassion? There's so much of the recitation of the mantra of the great compassion. However, do you know the true great compassion? What is it about deliberate cut through? It is to help cut through. It is not about cutting off anything. It is to help cut through, to help samsara, not to help ending from anything. It is the ending as helping. Do you know of the great compassion? Ending as helping. It is not about ending from anything. Cutting through as helping. It is not about cutting off anything. It is not about disregard from anything. Disregard and the disregard moving on altogether. So that there will be helping one another to release and unwind. Disregard even from the disregard itself simultaneously with everything. Then there will be purification within itself automatically. Through the extinction and the emptiness, Nirodha and Nibbana will purify samsara automatically. Let's not separate samsara from Nibbana or Nibbana from samsara. Nibbana purifies samsara. Nibbana help give ending for samsara. It is not about leaving samsara for Nibbana. Help give ending for one another. Bless one another. If leaving samsara, who is it going to be left to bless samsara? Help blessing altogether. Help ends for one another altogether. This is not about Nibbana from anything. Help Nibbana for samsara. Share Nibbana for samsara. Ending as helping, it is not about ending from something. Continue to do so until no more samsara is here. Until neither is it samsara or Nibbana. What is there to be liberated from? Do you know about the great compassion? Liberation is as helping. It is not about being liberated from anything. What is there to be liberated from? Do you know compassion or great compassion? Helping through unwinding and releasing. This is not determined to get over something or being liberated from something. Determination to liberate is not going to get through itself. It has nothing to do with being liberated or not. Well, to go beyond the disregard itself, disregard even from the disregard itself. Go beyond the awakening itself, beyond the brightening itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Let there be the deliberate cut through as the foundation. Disregard even from the disregard itself altogether. Let there be the great compassion here. This is not about ending from anything. Ending is to help. It is not about being liberated from something. The liberation is to be as helping. It has to be beyond the awakening. How it can be. Continue in the way of disregard, even from the disregard itself. Naturally, the awakening or the brightening will be beyond itself. The lighting up will be beyond itself automatically. Whatsoever will be beyond itself, naturally, in the way of purification, in the way of blessing, with the great compassion. Naturally, there will be purification of the extinction and emptiness. The samsara will be decreased automatically, whether it is personal samsara or samsara at large. All the cycle of samsara will be shortened. That is called ending samsara to help one another. Ending the lifetimes altogether. So constantly liberate, cut through powerfully to help samsara. This is not to cut off from anything. The cutting is to help. Disregard is to be as helping. Disregard even from the disregard itself. It is the disregard that doesn't grasp itself. It will be the collective support to deliberate cut through altogether, helping one another to cut through the cycle of circling altogether, helping one another to end the circling altogether. It will be beyond all the senses and sense objects, beyond eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, shape, sound, smell, taste, touches. Disregard even from the disregard itself. Senses are beyond themselves, in the way that is brightening, in the way that is purifying. To be stuck with just awaking or sleeping, it will just remain with samsara. Therefore, disregard even from the disregard itself, absolutely. Then it will be beyond awaking or sleeping. Beyond postures of lying or not lying, sitting or not sitting. Disregard even from the disregard itself, absolutely. It indicates the essence of deliberate cut-through. No consideration to the senses and sense objects, internally and externally. If being busy with being considerate, there is no cutting the mind, no cutting the heart at all. Disregard even from the disregard itself, without being considerate to the awakening or not. However, it is beyond awakening or not. Instantly offer to samsara the essence of deliberate cut-through. Be absolute. There is no need to give consideration to the state of being awakened or not, without regret. When disregard, even from the disregard itself, is already beyond awakening or not, that's already the mighty force of the blessing. That's already helping to penetrate through. Let's end as helping one another. Let's help one another towards ending.